Hi, it's Allie Hartwick here live. Again, coming from my house. I try and give you a different view every time. I assume everyone just needs to see what my DIY house looks like. But we don't need to be talking about this. What we need to be talking about is Adam Ferrara, because in like 5 seconds, I'm going to bring him into this chat. And we're going to talk not only about his podcast, his upcoming productions performances at Comedy Works, but all the stuff he's working on, and learn a little bit more about his life, because he's way more interesting than me. So let's say hello to not Leonardo da Vinci. It's Adam Ferrara.
Hi, how are you, Allie? Yes, I put that there in case anyone's paying attention.
Okay. I mean, I'm paying attention. All of a sudden, I'm worried that I researched the wrong person. And I'm going to have to ask questions about, I don't know, the first flying contraption or whatever.
The first flying contraption, the diving helmet, the Mona Lisa. I love the Mona Lisa. Okay, I'm reading the Walter Isaacson book about Da Vinci right now. So is a theory that the Mona Lisa was actually a self-portrait of Leonardo. And the secret of the painting isn't in the smile, it's in the eyes. So if it is a picture of Leonardo and the secret's in the eyes, the moment of that painting is he's looking at you and he just shared a secret with you. He just looked at you and said, shh, the Pope doesn't know I'm gay.
Now, have you seen the Mona Lisa in person?
Yeah. It's this big. It's this big.
Tiny. And you have we had to wait for so long and just snake around, and there's a million people pushing you.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's a masterpiece, all that stuff. In the Louvre, there are so many more better things.
Yeah. Well, they got the big pyramid now, too. So there's a lot of things going on. Well, you can't go anywhere anymore.
I know. Oh, I was just saying, we're so cultured, bragging about our trips to the Louvre.
Look at that. And I started a NASCAR race. So I did all kinds of cool stuff. I did when I was on Top Gear. I got to start a NASCAR race. I don't know if you're a fan, but so you've seen
not of NASCAR, of Top Gear.
Okay, so you've seen the racetracks on TV. I'm standing there, Allie. All the cameras are on me. Everyone in the stands are looking at the cars, like all this energy's coming at me, and I really wanted to do a good job, because I'd want to be like one of those gymnasts with the curly things, like go. So I actually was practicing and stuff. And it was great, man. When I waved that flag, those cars are coming out of that turn about 180 miles an hour. And at that speed, your balls hum.
So wait, did you?
I was like, oh, now I get it. Now I know why all these guys come to this thing.
I was going to say, do you think that's why it has such an active, we'll say, male fan base?
Great. You just stand there like this. One more lap, Dale. One more lap.
I mean, another reason for women to be like, yeah, go to the NASCAR race. Your job is done.
Your job's done, baby.
Yeah, don't have anything to do. All right, let's talk about your podcast.
Oh, it's great. It's called the Adam Ferrara Podcast. 30 minutes, you'll never get back. It's about 10, 11 months old, and I'm having such a great time doing it. I've had some great guests on. I got to meet people I've always admired and talked to. Nathan Lane did one for me, Jay Leno, Edie Falco. I had on Joe Buck, if you're a sports fan. I had on Richard Hammond from the original UK Top Gear. I had Tanner Faust and Rutledge Wood from the show that I was on. You know who I spoke to? An FBI profiler who worked on the Bundy case.
No way. That happened here in Colorado.
I know. It was creepy. I'm pretty sure Ted did it.
I get excited about women being victimized and murdered. But at this point, obviously Ted Bundy has become this weird, not appropriate pop culture sort of phenomenon. There were so many documentaries about him this year.
Yeah. Oh, and the other, you know who I just spoke to 2 days ago? Are you into the Zodiac Killer? You know the story of the Zodiac Killer?
Mm-hmm. Yep, totally.
Okay. Did you happen to see the 4-part docuseries on FX? It's now on Hulu, called The Most Dangerous Animal of All.
No, but I know what it is, and I haven't watched it yet, because I watch this stuff before I go to sleep, and then I don't sleep.
Yeah, you can't do that. But anyway, if you get a chance to watch this during the day, you want to watch this. It's about this guy, Gary Stewart, who was an adopted guy looking for his biological father, starts researching, thinks he finds the Zodiac Killer, does all this research, has a 500-page manuscript, finds this true crime writer named Susan Mustafa, brings it to her. She reads it and hey, there's something here. She co-writes the book with him. They make a 4-part series about it. And what they didn't know is the people doing the series was investigating their investigation, and they found a few discrepancies.
Oh.
So
wait, is this the one that the Jake Gyllenhaal movie was based on?
No, that was the Robert Graysmith book.
Okay.
That was the Robert Graysmith book. And I had Anthony Edwards on the podcast too, who was in that movie. Don't think I didn't ask him, Allie. After we got through Top Gear and a Top Gun that he was on, and I went right for that. We did Revenge of the Nerds, went all through his career, and then I went, and listen, I got to ask about the Zodiac. Anyway, I spoke to Susan Mustafa because what happened was, I don't want to ruin it for anybody watching, so spoiler alert. Okay, I've done my job.
Okay.
What happened was Gary, some of the evidence was a little bit altered because he wanted this story to be true. She finds this out in the middle of the documentary. And she's like, now I got to get to the truth. And you saw her face. It just crumbled. And what admired me about this woman's choice is she was more concerned about finding the truth than defending a position. And I was like, I got to talk to that lady. And she was great.
You don't see that a lot these days. Everybody just wants to defend their opinion.
Nope. This lady said, I got to find the truth even if I was wrong. She said, I was wrong. I was wrong and I got to fix it.
Wow. That's refreshing. So we obviously work in an area where podcasting is like the new thing and everybody's doing it. And I mean, I've been told, come up with a podcast like 100 times. And I need to ask you, having a fairly successful one, how do you come up with a concept? Like, I have writer's block before I even started writing.
Oh, okay. Here's what I came up with. Because I've had a lot of my friends started podcasting earlier than I. And they do a great job. You know, Rogan, I knew Drew when he had hair, but he was really good. He's excellent at what he does. Mark Maron's a friend. He's excellent. Jimmy Pardo has a great
You're friends with Mark Maron? Not that you're not cool, but like, whew, wow.
Oh, yeah. I did his podcast. I had a lot of fun doing his podcast. And I remember leaving going, he's doing this great. It's just, it's so him. So I had to figure out what I wanted to do. So this is what I came up with, Allie. The best night's sleeps of my life is when I was little and I'd be upstairs in the bedroom and I hear my mom and dad and their friends downstairs laughing. I don't know why, but it was people in the house laughing and then going over their problems and helping each other through life. So I wanted to capture that energy. So I start the show with me, my wife, my two friends, and we talk about a topic for about 10 minutes. Then we cut away to a one-on-one interview I do with a celebrity. And then like any good group of friends, we talk about them when they leave. So after the interview's over, we do another 10, 15 minutes about what we just learned and how that connects and pertains to our life. So it's like you're sitting at my dinner table every week because that's the energy I wanted or the feeling I wanted to communicate. So that's how I came up with what I did.
I like that, but you must have to edit yourself a little bit because I know when my friends leave my house, I just sit around and shit talk them. Like, you see what they did and their kid.
Yeah. You're like, what the hell was that? Why didn't you say anything?
Yeah. Like I'm sitting there trying to give you eyes and you're not saying it. Like what?
Yeah. But it's been so much fun because I didn't realize, you don't realize, I didn't realize how many people wanted to talk to me. It's great because I saw this lady on TV. I told the adults in my life I want to talk to her, and she said, "Great, she'd love to talk to you." I'm like, that blows me away. It just blows me away.
Yeah, well, you're kind of a big deal, I guess. Take it.
Who knows? But I could talk. I spoke, like I said, I spoke to Joe Buck, who's a sportscaster. I spoke to Tony Kornheiser and Mike Wilbon from ESPN. It's great. I could just sit there and watch TV and go, "You think we can get them?" We'll see.
Well, and you also name dropped Edie Falco in there. Totally caught that because you were on
right,
Nurse Jackie for a while.
I was. Yeah, I had so much fun doing that show. That show was great. And I got to work with Edie and we became pretty close because it was just my character was her boyfriend. So I did 2 years on that show. So a lot of my scenes were just with her because I was in the private life. And she's great. She's great. We told a story about I have a bridge right here. My teeth and Edie used to chew gum at the time she would chew gum a lot. So she gave me a piece of gum. We're walking to the set. We do the first take and it's a scene in the diner where I'm sitting across from her. And all of a sudden, because of the gum, my bridge came out, Allie. So I don't want anyone to know. So I'm doing this. I'm trying to put my bridge back in. And Edie, the professional she is, she covers her microphone. She goes, "Did your bridge just fall out of your mouth?" I went, "Yeah." I said, "I've been gluing this thing in for years." And Edie went, "I've been gluing mine in years until I got Soprano money to get it fixed. Don't worry. You all right?" Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, and then, you got some Nurse Jackie money. Right now, subscription television like HBO, Showtime, all of those is in such a golden age. And you were kind of on the front end of that because Nurse Jackie was just as all of those networks were coming up, you were a part of it. So what was it like now looking back and realizing that was the start of something huge?
It was, I'll be honest with you, I didn't have that foresight to look at the delivery system of how to be a part of how the television show was being distributed to people. I was just, as an artist, to be on that show and be on that set and work with those caliber of people. is just amazing. I've been so fortunate as an actor to be involved in Nurse Jack, Rescue Me for years. I got the opportunity on both of those shows because they were cable and dramedies. You could do drama one day, eyes crying drama, and then fall down funny the next day. And I got I was exposed to different things. I got to play more of a man more of a vulnerable man on Nurse Jackie because I was a guy in love with an addict, and then more of a guy trying to regain control or maintain control and rescue me because I was the chief of the house. So I got to play those different aspects of those characters. So as far as the delivery system of being on the front end of that, I'm more aware of it now because I'm on a show called CBS All Access called Why Women Kill, and that's on the streaming service for CBS. So look, being on a CBS All Access show, explaining that to my mother is an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's what channel? Ma, it's not. What friggin' channel? Ma, it's not. It's Allie, it's easier for me to get all the actors fly to New York and just put on a production in her bedroom because that's the only way she's really going to see the show.
Yeah, that sounds right. After having given some of my relatives my logins for pretty much every single streaming service, they still can't remember it.
Yeah, they don't get it.
How do you even sign out?
Here's what I have to do: my podcast comes out every week, so I have to send a link to my mother because she doesn't know how to subscribe and redo it. I have to individually send her the file so she can listen to it every week.
But at least she listens.
Yeah, did you hear it? It was on, and then I had to go to the bathroom and I forgot how to turn it off. So I'm listening to all of them, and I can't turn it off, so I just put the volume down. It's still running. Okay, Mom. She can't figure it out.
I like to practice accents because it's fun. And I think I'm going to go back and reference this interview as like trying to perfect my New York. Where in New York are you from?
I was born in Queens. I was raised out on Long Island.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want this accent.
No, I love it. I have a friend who's from Breezy Point, like born and raised Breezy Point. I love trying to mimic his accent. I think he pretty much hates it when I do it, but I don't care.
Look at you. I don't care.
No, I want to sound like him for fun. And so I just take it, appropriate it, make it mine.
Perfect. Where are you from?
I am from Buffalo, New York.
Oh, cold.
Yeah. I mean, it's really not that far from you, but still a world away.
A lifetime away. We shot in Buffalo. We shut down the Skyway.
Did you really? Oh,
yes.
The Skyway.
Yeah, we went
ruined
up
the city.
The Skyways, for those of you guys who don't know, Buffalo is a giant Skyway. And we closed it down when we were shooting Top Gear. And I had an amphibious boat. I had a Boston Whaler that I put a Jeep in the Boston Whaler. And it had an airboat motor behind. So when I sailed it as a boat, you turn the airboat motor on. And I had a motorcycle engine in there to drive the vehicle on the land with a hand clutch. Well, that went to shit really quick. I broke the chain. So I had to use the airboat motor to drive around. And what they don't tell you is you can't go up over 3,000 RPM because the tips of the blades break the sound barrier and you'll blow out an eardrum. And I didn't have any ear protection. That's why when you see people in those airboats in the Everglades and stuff, they got ear protection on. So the first scene going over the Skyway in Buffalo was this. I'm talking to the camera. There's gonna be fuck. Cut. What's the matter, Adam?
Oh man. Well, I mean, if that's all that happened to you in Buffalo, consider yourself lucky.
I'm sure you have some stories to tell, Hardwick.
It's not about me right now. It's about you, Mr. Ferrara. We don't need to hear my shit. Let's hear more about yours and Top Gear. For those who are not familiar, Top Gear was recommended to me by pretty much everyone I know with a penis. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll just watch it. And it turns out it's really, really good.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, we had a lot of fun doing it. Yeah, it was.
I got to go all around the world. So how did you get involved with the U.S. version? Because it did start as a British show.
Yeah, and it's still going on. The British show was the mothership. And what had happened was I was doing Rescue Me, and we were doing the Rescue Me comedy tour, which was me, Dennis Leary, Lenny Clark, and a band. And we would travel and do stand up to promote the beginning of the next season. And we did it for about 3 years. So we're on the tour bus, and we're all smoking. Because I smoked then. We were all having cigarettes on the tour bus. Allie, the tour bus looked like we elected a pope. Like, oh, new papa! Just smoke just billowing out of it. So Dennis looks at Lenny and I and says, listen, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this being the last season? And we'll shoot this thing in the head. We told all the stories. And then I looked at Lenny, and Lenny looked at me, and we looked at Dennis, and we went, no, we don't have Ice Age money, you skinny Irish fuck. Think of us. So he goes, all right, we'll do another couple of episodes. We'll cut it in half and that'll be it. So I had, we were going to shoot a bunch of episodes and then that was going to be it. So we knew it was coming. So I had to get another job. And I like cars. So I had done another pilot for the History Channel on a car show. They didn't pick up the show, but they liked me. And they said, do you know Top Gear? I said, yeah. She's like, well, we have the American rights of Top Gear. And I just said, don't screw it up. It's a great show. Don't screw it up. And History Channel said, we want you to be a part of it. I'm like, I don't want to screw it up. It's a great show. I don't want to screw it up. He goes, just go meet the people that are doing the show and see if you like it. So I had a meeting with John Hessling, who was the executive producer. And I said, look, I'm not interested in being to play the part of Clarkson or anything. I don't want to do that. He's like, no, we don't want you to imitate those guys. We want you guys to be you in the format of the show. I said, okay, good. So it's not like a ripoff. So I don't want it to be a ripoff. So I met the other two guys. They had Rutt and Tanner already. And I went back. Allie, I went back 4 or 5 times. Yeah. And finally, the last time I went, hey, look, this is the last time. I don't know what else you need to see from me. All right? I've driven. I've talked. This is it. I'm done. I left. Next day they called. They gave me the job.
Well, then maybe that was it. They just needed to see that from you. They're like, this guy's going to keep jumping through hoops. We're not going to have him drive.
Yeah, I'm done. So, and you know what? Time of my life. I went all around the world. They flew me to Germany. They gave me a brand new Lamborghini. They put me on the Autobahn and they said, go.
What a tough job.
Yeah.
They paid you a lot.
Yeah. It's look, the checks cleared too. Everything was happy. So I got to do that. I got to go to Cuba. I went to Iceland. I saw the Northern Lights. I drove up a volcano. They took the 66 GT40 race car out of the museum and I drove it. I only drove it 8 feet, Allie, but I drove it. It's still.
But you drove it. Man.
It's the race car. It's the model I had as a kid. They took it out of the museum. It's right-hand drive, so they opened it up. It's the door. I got in the car. I'm like, you push you got to start the fuel filter. They turn it on, and there's a 4-barrel carburetor right here. Flames are shooting out as soon as I started. The guys from the museum came over and goes, yeah, it does that. And so now I'm only allowed to drive at 8 feet because it's a museum piece. So the camera's here, right? And I've never driven this car before. It's idling, and the clutch isn't really set up, so it doesn't catch till my knee is like up into my throat, and I'm driving it on camera. So I pass the camera, shut the car down. The guys from the museum come over, open up to get me out. And like, you did good. Most people stole it. And they just got me out of the car. But I got to drive that car.
Which is incredible. I'm realizing through this conversation, I have no hope of ever being on any version of Top Gear because I would get in and be like, I don't know how to use this stick thing. There's too many pedals.
Listen, man, what's this extra pedal for? Do I step on this? That's funny.
Yeah, this isn't going to work for me. So I'll leave it to you and the professionals. The next journey you're going to be taking is here to Denver, Colorado.
Yes, I'm coming back, baby.
I don't know if you're going to get any museum cars to drive, but you are going to get to take the stage at Comedy Works South, one of the first few performers to be back.
Yeah.
Are you excited about that? Like, it's almost like this.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be back on stage and being on the road. And my wife is even more excited. Good. Go.
You've been around too long.
Go. I'm driving. Look, here's what every afternoon I go for my Save My Marriage walk. I get out of the house. My wife is like, go to the supermarket. We need a pineapple. We don't need a pineapple. She needs a break from me. So I get out because I'm used to being on the road. I mean, I'm shooting something or doing stand-up. So this gig came up. I haven't seen Wendy, who runs the club, in such a long time. I love Denver, so I'm really looking forward to coming back. So I said yes. So I'll put on a mask. I'll wash my hands, and we're going to do it right. The club's old. Everyone's safe. Everything is done. Everyone is social distancing. We're also live streaming the shows. If you don't make it out to the club, because we can only limit the amount of people in the audience, so we can live stream the shows Friday and Saturday. Please go to the ticket link here and figure it out. We're all in this together, which is great. That's the thing. We're all in this thing together, and I'm just happy to be on stage and not wearing a mask. I burped in my mask yesterday, and I thought I was going to kill myself. I had a tuna fish sandwich. I had to run out. I put the mask on. I'm in the car. I burped, and my eyes, the fluid in my eyes started drying up. I felt like I was on the orca and Jaws was about to bite me. I mean, it was terrible. So I'm so happy to be on stage and not have to wear a mask anymore.
Yeah, we're happy too. And you know, with that whole mask thing, it's a nice reminder that that's what your mouth smells like all the time, and that's
Oh
what you've been
God.
giving to other people.
You know what else I noticed about it's the same, it's kind of like the headphone phenomenon. You know when
Yeah.
you're wearing headphones and you think you have to yell so people can
Yes.
hear you?
Hmm.
When you're wearing a mask, I'm starting to think people can't hear me and I'm saying shit like, look at this fucking
Yep.
and they can hear me.
They
So
can. They still have ears. It's weird.
yeah, yeah, it's strange.
Very strange. All right, so we're going to add the link to tickets
Right.
to this video, which is posted on our website, our Facebook page. We're going to make sure everybody can find both the live stream link and the ticket link. Head down to either Comedy Works to see you or to their living room to stream you, which is my preferred way to do it because I don't like to put on real clothes. I'm wearing leggings on the bottom here. I couldn't even put on real pants.
I went like this, and I looked. Oh, good, I got pants on, and I looked like this when I did the clutch thing. I'm like, oh, good, I'm wearing jeans.
Yeah, you're wearing jeans. I won't lie, like I'm strategically keeping my shoulders below because I just decided undergarments are not necessary for work interviews. It's fine. Who cares?
Let them free Friday.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on my couch for a little bit. I got too comfortable, and I figured, you know, maybe it'll give me like a little comfort as we chat.
That's it. Yeah, I could use a cross breeze.
Yeah. I think everybody could kind of feel the confidence radiating. I hope. I hope that's all you felt radiating throughout this. All right, so I'm going to put those links up. Adam, thank you so much for taking time out of your Friday to join us. It's been wonderful chatting with you. And as I said, we are going to have all of the information for this show on our Facebook page, complete with links where you can buy tickets, live stream purchases. Right here, you can see that Adam is performing at Comedy Works South. That's the one at the Landmark, August 20th through the 22nd. And we hope that we either see you there or that you tune in from your computer. We will always keep these interviews on our Facebook page. We're having a fun time doing them. I hope you're having a fun time joining me and watching along. And everybody out there, I hope, has a fantastic weekend. How do I leave?